Welcome to another Universal Studios Hollywood construction update. We are now in the Cary storage parking structure overlooking people checking in for the Voice television show. This is where they are brought in and then buses bring them down, or trams for that matter. We can see some holiday decorations have yet to be put away. And then moving up a little bit, there's some smoke left over from what I believe is Waterworld going off. And then here you can see a little bit of the Harry Potter and the Forbidden Journey attraction and that giant brown building. And then to the left, that gray building is the Universal AMC Cinema. There are also some pink trees mirroring cherry blossoms that are here for Lunar New Year, which will be pretty exciting. Before heading down to the park, looking on this side of the parking bridge towards the World of Worlds set, the Psycho House, and here, which is Fast and the Furious Supercharged, I'm going to show the lake over here, which last time was full. They were filming a commercial. It is now completely empty, completely drained. If you ever wanted to know what City Walk looks like on a Wednesday in the middle of January, this is it. This is it. It's completely empty. I mean, this is just crazy. There's nobody here. It is the middle of the day, too. Crazy. So the first thing to note right here, next to the Wetzel's Pretzels location, this used to be the Hard Rock Cafe shop, and now it is empty. They took the sign down, and when we turn to the right here, you can see the guitar is being dismantled. So this restaurant takes up the largest amount of space on City Walk other than the theaters. So I'm really interested to see how they utilize the space for the upcoming Toothsome Chocolate Emporium. So if we look up here, the sign says, "Please visit Margaritaville." There's a giant dump truck right in front, or a dumpster. And the Hard Rock Cafe sign is gone. So also looking at Universal Cinema, there's advertisements for Dolittle, which comes out in just a day actually, which is pretty cool. I'm really looking forward to this. I haven't seen reviews yet, so I'm going to keep my hopes up. Now, speaking of Can Do No Wrong, I am so insanely excited about the reviews for Cats. I understand this movie came out a while ago, but I haven't been to the parks, I haven't been to Universal since it came out, and I was predicting with every single one of my videos that this movie would bomb, that it would just be an awful movie, no one was going to see it. And thank goodness, not only was I right, but some of these reviews said it was the worst movie of all time. Universal even admitted so. They pulled it from theaters and had to re-release it the next weekend, which is completely unheard of for movies. So I'm just very, very excited that a movie failed. It looked really bad. They were advertising it too much. They pushed it out too quickly. At its core, Cats is just a really bad story because there is no story. And then you bring in all these A-listers, you know you're going to lose a lot of money. So anyway, I'm very excited it failed. I'm sure a lot of other people are too. So moving down City Walk, we get a view of the NBC Sports Grill and Brew, which is opening later this year, taking over the former Tony Roma's location. Not much progress. We can see the exterior of the building looks the same, although it looks like the fencing has moved down towards the Woody Woodpecker parking lot. Looking towards the entrance, we can already see a bit of construction to the left, looking at the Secret Life of Pets off-the-leash attraction. We'll be talking about that a little bit in a little bit. So if you were looking at these crowds at Universal Studios Hollywood, or more likely the lack of crowds, you would probably guess, oh, it's maybe 8 or 9 a.m. That's why there's not many people yet. No, it is 2 p.m. It's not just 2 p.m. and it's not just completely empty, but Waterworld also just let out and it's still this empty. That's crazy. Usually when Waterworld lets out, this is a huge bottleneck, but nope. Nobody here. Just for some point of reference, The longest wait in the park right now looks to be the Simpsons ride at 35 minutes. Probably they only have one theater open. After that, Jurassic World is at 20. Everything else is 15 minutes or less. That's pretty great. Revenge of the Mummy is 5 minutes. That's a walk-on. Pretty good. So walking over this way, the biggest news is there's no more scaffolding. It's gone. The bad news is that we can no longer walk this way towards Despicable Me and to get our usual construction. So this is probably the best view we're gonna get of the whole street, which looks beautiful. They did a really great job. Towards the Palace Cafe now, getting just a little bit of a different view. You can see some of these lifts, probably to add some detailing and ornamentation. So all of those poles that I thought were to hold the attraction sign were actually just to hold these balconies. You can see towards that big building, which I thought was going to be the entrance, that will probably just be a balcony over there. Hello.
We're going to be movie stars. I cannot wait. Hi here.
So as I was filming this, these French girls on tilt rope, or whatever they're on, started rubbing my head, and I was like, oh, what is that? And then I turn around and they're right behind me. I thought that was kind of funny. Anyway, going back, you can see there's a new sign for Illumination Pets Place. It looks like they're trying to make this whole back of the park the Illumination Land, I guess. I don't want to think what that's going to do to the rest of the upper lot, but right now, if it means they're going to be doing theming stuff like this, I'm happy, because this looks great. There's a big group of people in the VIP experience, and I'm sure they feel really ridiculous right about now with absolutely no lines. Same with people who bought Express for the day. Thank goodness I have it in my annual pass, so I can just skip the lines anyway. It's not like there's any lines to skip though. Moving towards Despicable Me Minion Mayhem, you can see a little bit more of the facade. It's really hard to see down this way because of the walls. But this is it. So that was a great look at Secret Life Pets. I felt weird talking because there was a Universal Creative team member who was watching me, and I didn't want to start making guesses as to what things could be when he actually probably built the ride. One thing I can guess is just based on current rumors is that this will not be a motion simulator. This will in fact be a dark ride, which mixes the use of technology and real world sets. Now I'm in the smoking area, so I'm going to try and be really quick, but here to look at the lower lot construction. And a lot has been done. Looks like that steel that's on the left is filling up a lot more of the land, giving credence to the fact that yes, this is exactly what we think it is. It does look like there is some tarp on the right side of the show building that's covering up our usual viewing spot, so hopefully we'll be able to see a little bit from down there. I'm not sure what we'll be able to look at, but it looks like most of the experience we will have in this land is here to the left, and then this stuff to the right will most likely be unthemed because we will not see it from inside the land. Again, I don't know. This is just a thought, which would probably make sense then if the entrance to the land is over here by Jurassic World. As usual, when I leave this land, I can barely breathe because it is full of smokers, and I will always say, don't smoke, it's bad, you will die. Look at all the crowds. There's so many people here. Just kidding. Before heading to the lower lot to look at construction down there, I definitely want to get some food because it is 2 p.m. and I'm very hungry. Whenever you see a button, press it. Because A, it makes you feel like a kid, and B, fun stuff happens. So coming down the first escalator, you can see that Universal has not gotten the message. It failed, it flopped, it got the worst reviews out of any movie that I know of that has ever come out. Okay, here we are looking at the lower lot construction. So there has been more progress on this far left side than really anything that we've seen. That is likely to be the land for this attraction. It's very, very, very much smaller than the land that is going into Japan. So this will be an altered version of that, most likely. Again, this is all assuming that it is the same attraction and land as the one that's going to Japan, which everyone kind of assumes, but it may not be. They may surprise us. Taking a little bit of a closer look here, you can see the crane is moving some stuff around. Seems like most of the progress is also happening inside the big show building as well. If this is the attraction we think it is, it has to lay a lot of track on the inside, as well as install a lot of the show scenes. That'll happen a little bit later. Right now is just basic construction, making it walkable on that second floor. The third floor is now completely covered and walkable. You can see a lot of people walking on it, working to install things, whether that be electrical systems or air conditioning. Probably won't happen for a little while longer. You can see a lot of progress is happening on that roof as well. I'm so excited because the song that's playing right now in the escalator is the Mustache song from A Million Ways to Die in the West. So as we get closer to the lower lot, one thing to note before we get closer to this construction site is the Jurassic World sign, which is still missing. We're on a brand new year, which means that it went through the holiday season and there was no sign on the building. Now, this attraction is going to be going down for a significant period of time for refurbishments. Most water rides do after the holiday season, once it gets really cold and it allows for them to. But it seems like Universal is not limiting their refurbishment schedule to their water ride, but also to other rides as well. Transformers right now is under a pretty lengthy refurbishment. So we will see what's happening here. One thing to note from here is there is a structure right over there that seems to be blocking the front of the building. So it's likely when you're in the land in front of this building, you will not be able to see the flat surface of it. It will be kind of masked by these big square structures. Moving towards Transformers, I completely forgot to mention Lunar New Year is about to start, which is why the plaza space in the upper lot is closed. But one offering of Lunar New Year is a meet and greet with a Transformer version of Megatron that speaks Mandarin, which is really cool. While Transformers The Ride 3D is under refurbishment, it looks like they're doing some recruit training cornhole out here, which is kind of cool. So moving back to our usual spot. I'm trying to talk a little bit quiet because there is a guy right there who is just staring at me while I talk to myself in my camera. Oh, and that guy just gave me a look. That's fine. One thing to note up here is these grates on the roof, which have been added in the last couple weeks. and then this green tarp, which is covering the front of the building. This might be because of the rain that Southern California has had over the last month, but it also might just be so we cannot see what they are doing. Most likely for weather, because at this point, it's not like they're hiding much. Just to give some scale, this building could probably fit the entirety of Hogsmeade into it. It's pretty big. It doesn't look to be as big as Transformers. Granted, Transformers is a 3-story structure. But I might be wrong. I don't know. Looks like they're delivering some materials. The second floor there.
Sorry, boss.
Into that big opening on the second floor in the wall, which may actually be an entrance, not just for the construction, but for guests if they enter through the second floor. Just some speculation. I have zero idea. I need to preface that with everything I'm saying here. All of my rumors, all of my things. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm just looking at this as somebody who's been looking at the construction for the past, year or two since it's begun. And just checking out the progress, checking out the rumors, the rumored layouts of what this is going to be. And if it is what people think it is, this is going to be absolutely incredible, and I can't wait. It looks like a crowd is gathered. My guess is somebody must be coming out soon. Let's see what time it is. It's almost 3 p.m. So yeah, let's see who's coming out right now. It looks like Megatron is coming out in just a couple minutes. At the wall behind where Megatron's going to be coming out, there's a lot of new advertisements. The Kelly Clarkson show has been there for a little while, but now we have one for the Netflix show, Fast and Furious Spy Racers. The Magicians is at the top left, which is going to be on Sci-Fi. It looks like they're really trying to showcase all of the NBC content that isn't just NBC. It's also all of the Universal channel. So I would hate coming to Universal and not going on any attractions. So I'm gonna check out the Mummy. The Mummy's always a great option. It was a 5-minute wait when I was upstairs. On the upper lot right now, it's showing 15. So we'll see what Single Rider Express is. Even at a 15-minute wait, Single Rider was open. Usually when it's so short, Single Rider is closed. But that's nice, that's great. I decided to do Express because I just wanted to choose to sit in the front. This is not a 15-minute wait. There's nobody in this queue at all. Just some advice. Never do a roller coaster on a full stomach. Whoa, look who is out right now. It is the dinosaur that I'm forgetting his or her name. There's another check on wait times past 3 p.m. Simpsons ride is at 25 minutes. Everything else is 15 minutes or less. Somehow, Harry Potter and the Forbidden Journey is a shorter wait right now than Despicable Me, Minion Mayhem, than Ollivanders, than Revenge of the Mummy. Before going back to the upper lot, I did want to check out the studio store to see if there's any 2020 merchandise. Yesterday at Disney, I was able to find a lot of 2020 merchandise, so we'll see what they have here. So I did ask somebody about 2020 merchandise. She said they don't have it yet, but they do have these New Year's Eve bands that say Happy New Year. This was from the Eve party, which counted down the new year here at Universal Studios Hollywood. On our way up, we're just going to take a little bit of a look at the valley. You can see it is a pretty foggy day, mix of foggy and clear. Warner Brothers and Disney over there, ABC. There's a tram tour. And then looking down at the lower lot construction. Look, it's Marge Simpson. And Marge Simpson. And Homer and Homer. I just want to make a comment on Universal characters. They generally do a great job with characters. The dinosaurs, the Transformers are... I'm sorry, I had to stop because someone was smoking. Anyway, going back to Universal characters. Universal characters are pretty incredible. You know, the Transformers are great. I will say that the dinosaurs look fantastic. The problem is that most of their handlers are not trained the same way that Disney handlers are. So Disney character hosts, as they are called, or entertainment hosts, are trained to speak for the characters who do not have a voice. They're the voice of the characters. Here at Universal, they're just kind of standing there, just managing the line. So that means that the characters are kind of left on their own and therefore less effective. It's just a difference I wanted to point out. Nothing major, but it's definitely a very noticeable difference. You can just see here, it is quite empty. Another thing to note, Universal Orlando has started some construction right over here in this area to help with the locker situation inside of the Forbidden Journey attraction. It's bad here, but honestly, this park is rarely that crowded, so it's not like it really needs any changes. But if they do make these changes, Universal's moving their lockers out here from inside the building. So we'll see if they do it here. I don't know. So there's nobody in the vehicle in front of me, or the vehicle behind me, or the vehicle behind that, or the vehicle behind that, or the vehicle behind that. I was the only person in line for this attraction. This is, I've honestly, I've never seen this empty in the 3 years that I've been coming here. You know, a couple times a month. This is pretty cool. You know what's a great thing for an upset stomach? Butterbeer. I'm just kidding, but I want some anyway. So I did get a butterbeer, but they gave me a paper straw, which is ridiculous because you cannot have a ice cold beverage with a paper straw. So one thing to do if they ever do this is head down to the Central Street when you enter the park, and there's a Starbucks which will be connected to the Universal Studio store. Head to the Starbucks and you can get plastic straws. Right next to Poe doing his meet and greet, you can see some gold statues in the plaza, which are here for Lunar New Year. In addition to the gold statues, you can see over here where the Grinch usually meets, this hut. It looks like it's still being completed on this side, which will have some food. Some more Lunar New Year decorations over here. You can see Year of the Rat. At Disney, they say Year of the Mouse. It's kind of funny. Over here is Hello Kitty. How do you say hello to her? Do you say hello, hello Kitty? Seems a bit redundant. And then there's some lanterns up here. Inside, it looks like there is some Lunar New Year merchandise. Never mind, I thought so. So instead of having Lunar New Year merchandise, is Lunar New Year lanterns on top of regular merchandise. This is similar to what they did for Christmas. Coming out here, it looks like Beetlejuice is doing meet and greets. There is Lucy. Let's see who else. There's Dracula. Beetlejuice is fun. Oh, and there's Frankenstein's monster. On our way out, we can see Megatron and Universal Studios Hollywood things underneath the lamppost here. Oh, it looks like the tiger from Kung Fu Panda. I wonder if these are all different characters. Oh, it looks like they are. So this is the character from Kung Fu Panda. I don't know their name. Universal Studios Hollywood. Looks like there's Po from Kung Fu Panda. Going down a little more, here is a Minion and Hello Kitty, also wearing traditional garb. It looks like because of the early closing tonight at 6 p.m., they have closed down the security gates and moved security to right in front of the park entrance. So you just go in there and just enter the park.
Capital of LA.
Before leaving, there is a note here on the Hard Rock Cafe wall which says, "Thanks for rocking with us on City Walk for 25 years. We have ceased operations in this location as of the 6th of January 2020 as the tour moves on to the next city. You can still visit us in Hollywood," and then it lists the Hollywood Boulevard address. Anyway, this was a great visit. Thanks so much for joining. We did a lot today, looked at construction on the upper lower lot on City Walk. We rode some rides. I got my butterbeer. I am very happy. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks so much for joining.